Hey guys, so I wanted to show you this coin that I just bought today, and I have a story behind this coin that might help you out when you're looking for coins and also kind of help you learn how to pick up things that other people might not pick up on. So this coin, I'll tell you how I came across this coin. So I was actually looking at some Morgans. I just picked up some Morgans today. Uh, Here's the two that I picked up today. I was sorting through Morgans, and I'll show you the Morgans I got today. So this one is an 1878 obverse, but 1879 reverse. So this is about a $90 coin. I got it a little less than that. And this is a 1892 O. And this is I think the mintage shown here is on this one is 2.7 mil. So I was looking through Morgan's today, and uh, one of the people that I shop with, he was talking to another person, and there's some gold that he always tells me I don't sell my gold unless I'm trading it for something else, something big. So, and he's told me 3 or 4 times about the gold he has. He has a 1879 CC graded. He wants 3,200 for that. So he has some good gold, a lot of $10 eagles. But so he was talking to some other gentleman, and he brought out the gold. So he was showing it to that guy, and I had just got done going through the Morgans, and I said, "Hey, I want to step in and just kind of take a look. I haven't seen these before. I always hear you talk about them." So he allowed me to say, "Go ahead, take a look." So I was looking through them, and this one came in a holder. It came in this holder, and it had a sticker on it that said 1850 O. And let me move that hair. That's gross. But so it said 1850 O on it. Or it could have been a D, but he said it was an O, and his handwriting looked like halfway between either. So I looked at it, and I brought my loop with me, and I'll show it to you too. And before we even mentioned what it was, I was taking a look at it, but it had 1850 O written on it. So I turned it around, and I said, "Wow, this is a D Dahlonega. I've always wanted a Dahlonega." So he said, "Oh, that's not a D. That's a O. It looks like a D." So, and the price he quoted me was about retail price for an O. So I said, "Okay. I mean, how much do you want?" He told me the price, and I said, "I'll take it." And actually, I had enough money for the Morgans, but I didn't have enough money for this, so I had to run to the ATM to get some cash because I was not going to let this coin pass me. I would regretted it all my life. So I went back, and I know that he heard me first say that it was a D, and he said, "No, it's a O." So I was thinking the whole time that he was going to go back while I was running to the ATM to double check it. And when I got back, it I don't think he took a second look. I think he just took it as an O. So I'm going to zoom in a few minutes and show you some better pictures. I just want to tell you the kind of story. So I bought it, and my heart was pounding the whole time. I went to the ATM to get the extra money to buy it. So I came back. I almost said nothing. I came back in, and he said, "Oh, what'd you learn from your research?" Well, I just said I have to do some more. I haven't got time to research it yet. So I went in there, and I paid him exactly what he told me, and I didn't even bargain 1 cent, so or haggle 1 cent. So I took it home, and I looked at it more. Now I knew that there's a possibility it could be a O, but to me it really looked like a D. So I'll zoom in a little bit and try to get you some really good pictures, and you can tell me what you think. But it is a little rubbed, and it is like an X mount, so it was mounted on some kind of jewelry. But if it's a 1850D, like I think, and when I show it to you in a close up detail, you're going to say, "Oh yeah, that's definitely a D." If so, there's only 12,000 these ever made. A lot were probably lost, melted down, and the others are probably in collectors' uh, collections. And on eBay, I only saw 1 or 2 that sold. These are extremely scarce. Only 11,000 ever made. So this is probably about a $2,000 coin. But I have to look at it a little bit more and see exactly how much I want to say sell it for, and I'll probably actually keep it in my own collection for a while. I don't think I'll list it right away. So let me change the camera a little bit so I can give you better detail. Okay, so here's the front where you can see 1850, and that 5 looks a little weird, but they look weird on all of the 1850s, at least the 1850s. I'm not sure about the other years like 1851, but on all the 1850s, that 5 just looks a little weird. So you can see this is definitely gold. When you start handling gold, you'll know the luster and the shine and the weight. And I'll flip it over so you can see. And you can see a clear D right there underneath the arrows, underneath the eagle. Not the 2.5D, that's $2.50, but right above that, you can see a D. So this is a Dahlonega made in Georgia, right where I am. But that is definitely a D to my eyes. You can comment below and tell me if you see it O. Let me see, get it a little bit closer. Now you do see the arrows underneath it, or it looks like the main part of the D could be a little thicker than the end of it, the two uh, indents behind the D. I forgot the exact name. I know there's a name for it. Comment if you remember what that is. But you can see how it does look like the D could be an O, but when you look at an O, O is way more oval, and the lines on the sides are way thinner. So this is definitely a D in my eyes. And the reason why I made this video is not to brag. I really wanted to show you guys how you can, trust your eye over even maybe an expert or the person who's selling it to you. Because the guy that sold this to me, he didn't argue, but he was like, "Oh, no, it's O. It looks like a D, but it's O." I wasn't going to argue with him. It's his coin, and I would expect him to use his best judgment. But to me, that definitely looks like a D. So, and like I said, please comment. Uh, and to me, it's just a beautiful coin. And I'll weigh it real quick. Now, these unk weigh about 4.18 grams. Of course, this isn't unk. And I might be right, I might be wrong, but my theory on why a lot of the scarce coins are always rubbed is because the better dates probably got saved in collections way after they were used. So you could think that if this was a common date and it was rubbed raw like this, they probably would have just melted it down eventually, because they probably would have sold it, in 1980 or other years when gold spiked, and they just probably didn't care about what the coin was. But more scarcer dates they kept. They wouldn't melt the scarcer dates. And that's probably correct. That's just what I've always thought on why some of these scarcer dates are always just raw. But you can see it weighs about 4.06 grams. So there's a little wear on it, but you can see the weight is right, especially for being this war. But this is just a beautiful coin. And one other tip about gold, you will see that gold shine. If you kind of hold the light at the right angle, you'll see that gold reflect on your finger if you kind of hold it the way I am. A fake coin or like a copper coin or some other base metal would not reflect like that. That's just something I've always kind of tested when I'm dealing with gold. But you'll definitely feel the weight. Gold is heavy. It is very heavy, kind of like silver, but even heavier than silver. All right, well, thanks for watching, and comment if you think it's a O or if you think it's a D. Just type O if you think it's a O, or a D if you think it's a D, or if you think it's a like a overstrike, like a O over D or something like that. But I'm happy with it regardless. But I hope it is a D. So thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this, because uh, I like sharing the information I learn. It's one way. In one way, I kind of bookmark it for myself, where I can go back in a video and watch the tips or watch the information that I learned when I made a video. And I hope y'all guys can do that too. So maybe you can kind of bookmark the videos, where if you ever come across this kind of thing, or if there's some information you need to know about a coin or an experience that I've had, maybe you can learn from it too and kind of bookmark it and use it in your own experience. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and continue to hunt. Thanks.